Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We are here for the 2025 edition of the New York Auto Show, and of course, walking around, we had to stop at the Volkswagen booth because guess what? We have that ultimate performance hot hatch from Volkswagen. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the updated, refreshed, changed up 2025 Golf R. But before we get into this turbocharged all-wheel drive powerhouse, let's talk about what's going on here. So Volkswagen is making changes to their lineup. We already brought you the style and the look of the redesigned Tiguan, of course, that newly electrified ID Buzz, but really what a lot of car enthusiasts love and know about Volkswagen is the Golf, specifically the Golf GTI and the Golf R. Now we are in the 8th generation of this iconic hatchback, and like I mentioned at the start of this review, it does have a refresh. So we're talking about Golf R version 8.5. Now there's been some changes. Some I think you're gonna like, some you're probably not gonna like. But what I wanna find out is, have we been cheated here in the United States with the Golf R compared to other parts of the world? Let's go ahead, let's dive into ours and find out. Right off the bat, it's that classic color. Lapis blue really gives it that nice sort of R presence because blue is the iconic color of the R branding. Now at the front of the business, with the refresh, you're gonna see an update in the headlight housing. So you're gonna have your LED daytime running lamp. Love the way the daytime running lamps kind of hug the LED headlight. Working your way down, they enlarge the corner air intakes here for those heat exchangers. Everything is in gloss black and there's a little bit of a boomerang shape. Plus, you'll also notice the functional corner air curtain. Notice how the black drips into that lower lip splitter area, really giving it a nice cohesive look, a little bit more aggressive look. And that's always been the thing to me, is that I feel like they could have went a little bit more on the aggressive style, especially when they used to run the Golf in the World Rally Championship. Obviously they don't do that anymore, but it just would have been nice to have maybe some extra fender flare compared to your GTI or regular Golf. Now as we come across the front grille area, it's been updated for 2025. You have your illuminated Volkswagen badge, really pops nicely. Your LED daytime running lamp that runs horizontal from one side to the other, and of course the updated R badge. Besides the top portion being kind of resculpted, the lower portion, same story. Everything has been enlarged to flow more cool air for the heat exchangers. And then I like the way that they brought some of the body color, the blue, into the lower portion. This gives it more definitely of an aggressive style compared to the standard Mark 8 or any of the Golf R versions before this generation. But let me know what you think about the face of this Mark 8.5. Now, as we rise up, they notch out the hood for that Volkswagen badge. And then I like the way you got a nice smooth bend that kind of goes towards the windshield, and the body lines actually evaporate as you get to that windshield. But very crisp, that German styling very present in this Golf R. Now when we come around the bend, what are we working with wheel and tire? These are the US spec wheels. Really nice design, this V-spoke style design, 19-inch wheel. The reason why I have to zonk it, even though it's a great looking wheel, is that they actually get better wheels over in Europe. But what you will see is the New York pizza style increased rotors, cross-drilled, fully ventilated, with your aluminum hat to cut down on weight. And then one of those things too is the braking. So you're gonna get upgraded brakes. Instead of them being red, you got them black with the R badging on them. The only problem with that is that it's not a fixed performance caliper like you would find from Brembo or from Bayer or any of those other performance brake companies. Supposedly, Volkswagen says it's enough braking capability, but it just would have been nice to kind of go all in with this being a full performance spec vehicle. But let me know what you think about the wheel. Even though they don't look like the European spec wheels, it's still a pretty damn good looking wheel, I have to admit. Like I said, it's 19-inch wheel. It's a square setup on tires. So tires are 235 on the width, which is kind of crazy. I would have thought that the tires would have been a little bit wider. The other thing is, remember, this has all-wheel drive. So it's front-wheel drive base, and then it sends power to the rear wheels to give you that ultimate grip. Now, as we go down the side of the vehicle, you're gonna get your gloss black on your mirror caps. You got your turn signals blended in. You notice where they put the R badge now. Kind of weird, it's like floating there in the middle of nowhere. Up top, you have blue across the whole roof. No sunroof or panoramic sunroof on this particular one. And then also you'll see how you have color matched on the door handles and the updated side skirt extension. Look at the way the arrow comes into the rear, up and over. And then as we spin it around back, here's where things get a little bit more aggressive for the Golf R. You do have this raised pedestal style wing. So you have this rear spoiler that actually has a pass-through in it. Nice aggressive style. Lori's gonna show it off from the back. Love the way they did the rear wing on this 8.5 generation Golf R. You got your blacked out badging with the Volkswagen logo, the R logo, of course, because it says the Golf R. It doesn't say Golf anywhere on this vehicle besides here, but this comes off. And then as we work our way down, you do have your performance exhaust. Now, one of the sad things is we don't get the Akrapovic performance exhaust like they do in Europe. You do get a nice looking exhaust, quad tip, but unfortunately, we don't get extra horsepower and we don't get the race style exhaust on this vehicle. But it looks like they decided to add it. So it's kind of nice how they've added it for 2025, maybe as an option for this vehicle. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk about horsepower of this Golf R. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You still get a prop rod underneath the hood. I wish they would do something a little sexier with the engine cover because this is an enthusiast car. Enthusiasts want to pop the hood, so you're just getting a plain black engine cover. You'll notice the turbocharger on the back portion. And if you're wondering what is this red cable for, this is for the power inductor, because you'll see when we get inside, we actually could show off the new infotainment system. But what do we have going on here with this Golf R? That's a 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine, 328 horsepower, 7-speed DSG. So there's only a 7-speed dual clutch now available, no more manual. Unfortunately, we don't get as much horsepower as the European spec does. Top speed right around 167 miles per hour. So really sad that if you want a manual transmission, the 8th gen is gonna be the way to go with this 8.5 7-speed DSG. Remember, the DSG is a dual clutch. It's a DCT transmission. DSG is the fancy acronym that Volkswagen uses for this transmission. 0 to 60, like I said, in about 3.94 seconds, depending on traction and what is underneath you. But why don't we go ahead, let's get inside and see what's new for this Golf R. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 updated, changed up Golf R. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've always wanted an all-wheel drive hot hatch. The Golf R has always been on my list. I think I'm liking it even more, but how much is it? So starting MSRP is right around $48,000 for this vehicle. Of course, the GTI is still available, that being front-wheel drive. But let's see, besides those beautiful forged wheels on the outside and the updates that they did to the exterior, what did they do on the inside? To the door panels. Absolutely love that carbon fiber. So you got real dry weave carbon fiber with your blue ambient lighting, Alcantara in the center section, soft touch on the armrest, no gloss black, and then you could easily put 4 Wiener Schnitzels in that door pocket and a large bottle of Coca-Cola. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, you do have the Harman Kardon sound system, more of that beautiful carbon fiber with the blue ambient lighting. Slide on in, you got an updated infotainment system. Now, it isn't super improved compared to the previous model year, but it is larger. Almost 13 inches in size. You got your different drive modes that you can go into, obviously, including race and the Nürburgring mode. And then you have your full touchscreen capability, all the familiar apps. You can change your ambient colors inside. You could also go into things like your navigation. It is easy to figure out, but I would like some physical buttons. Down here, you still have those haptic kickbacks with volume and the dual climate control. You have heated seats, no ventilated seats, which is a zonk at $48,000. Here's your quick access buttons to get into modes or your climate control. Down below, you do have a place for 7 Twinkies and wireless charging. Start stop button. This is for your 2 Slim Jims. And then of course, no more manual. You got this little nub of a shifter for your 7-speed dual clutch transmission. 1 cup holder, and then you got another area for a juice box. Maybe you got like Hawaiian Punch. Soft touch with the blue stitching and a 12 volt. I highly recommend running a radar detector. You lift this up, it's sealed. There we go. Put your 12, you got your 12 volt in there for your radar detector. This lifts up. You could put, I would say, 7 golf balls in there. Since this is a golf, you probably want to ride around with your good luck balls, and you can put your good luck balls in there that Tiger Woods gave to you when you were a kid. And then the seats. They are updated for 2025. Alcantara, our embroidery. Love the plaid. The challenge is on this trim, you have manual controls for, well, it's sort of like a half and a half. You have manual controls for one portion, and then you do have power for the back, which is interesting. And then of course, you gotta have your Nürburgring Nordschleife Twinkie cargo net on the side. But it's weird that they did a combination of some electric and some manual controls. So manual for the back portion, and then to slide the seat, you actually do that. It's interesting. Power back, manual bottom. Kind of weird in a Golf R, but why don't you come over here to the business side? I want to show you behind the wheel of this hot hatch. All right guys, business time behind the wheel. One thing I absolutely adore about Volkswagen is in the Golf R, you get that a beautiful pedal box, aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. I am gonna miss the clutch pedal since there's no more available manual. Seats, like I said, they're weird. Power back, but yet manual adjustments for height and manual adjustments forward and backwards. So kind of weird, but the seats are great. They're comfortable. They have wonderful bolstering. I'm 6 feet tall and there's plenty of room in this Golf R. Steering wheel, love the way they did the leather, the perforated, the smooth. Another thing that I can't stand is this right here. Why do they have the heated steering wheel button right on the edge? Because I'm telling you, when you're driving the twisty bitch, you're gonna hit that and then your hands are gonna start sweating. R badging, and then look at the massive surfboard style paddles to go up and down that 7-speed dual clutch. I just wish that it was an actual metal paddle would be nice. And then you have that 12-inch display there, nice full color graphics. You can go through all sorts of different information, which is fantastic. And that's gonna allow you to be able to have all of what you need to know about what's going underneath the hood. And there's a head-up display. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat, because I think you're gonna be impressed with the amount of room in this Golf R. All right guys, back seat time in the Golf R. Love the way you still get so much room, such a usable performance daily driver. The seats just like up front with the plaid. On the back, your passengers are gonna love the storage because you got plenty of room for your Twizzlers, your whatchamacallits, even your Laffy Taffy, and then down below, this is where they can keep a nice slice of New York pizza. You just fold it and slide it back there. Of course, thin crust. You do have your heated seats, no ventilated seats, AC vents, and 2 USB-Cs. And then when it comes to headroom, it feels really good back here. Seats are comfy, and you also got a nice armrest, just enough real estate for your actual arm and 2 cup holders. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the cargo area, because we need to wrap it up from the auto show. All right guys, one of the great things about a hatchback is all that usable space. You're just gonna use the Volkswagen badge, lift it up, and here's where you have plenty of cargo room. The seats do fold down, giving you that 60-40 split. Look at all that room they give you. My big question is, can we find out what's underneath the cargo floor? No spare in this vehicle. You actually, that's your subwoofer. So you get a can of flat fix and an electric air compressor. But it's always great to be at the shows, especially the New York Auto Show, and be able to finally bring you this Golf R 2025 for the US market. When it comes to vehicles like these, this is what fun driving is all about. And this really is an enthusiast style car. But let me know what you think about the price. Let me know what you think about what's going on with the competition. And if you're liking this one, let me know in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Race Rides family. Got to give it up to Lori Raiti. She's keeping me in check, that's for sure. So thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.